Welcome, everyone, to the latest episode of The Testing Room, where three of the gaming industry's best video game consultants who have never actually consulted on a video game bring you new topics each and every week. As always, I'm Alex, aka The Godfather.
I'm Christian, aka Sudowood45.
I'm Preston, a.k.a. Funkadelic Jedi.
Yeah. We're back this week, and later this week, we're going to bring you our new video game book club of 2025, our first video game book club of 2025.
Well, it's today, technically.
We're recording today. Doesn't it come out later this week?
Yep,
we slice it. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Christian dating ourselves right
knows.
now. So, yeah, I know what's up. So anyway,
whatever. You
sure
forgot the intro like 2 weeks ago.
Be sure to check that out. But yeah, we're excited to talk about that. But before we do it, as always, let's see what's going on with Preston's comment corner over there.
Yeah, first I'd like to start off, thank you for everyone who subscribed. We did get to exactly 50 subscribers by 2025.
Nice.
So that's very nice.
Preston can do timestamps now.
I can do timestamps. I can do chapters. You can bounce around. It'd be great. So yeah, we'll dive into that.
Insane that you couldn't do that to begin with.
Yeah, because I've seen it before, where like you can like pull up on a video and like, okay, I can subscribe, go through here, and maybe chunk out the ads section of the other videos. You can kind of get past it. But I thought it'd be nice to be like, be able to kind of chunk it out, and if there's a topic or if there's a certain game we're talking about, be able to put it down. So if someone wants to jump around, they can. So yeah, thank you everybody who got on the train. Hope we keep that number going, and we'll keep on bringing you content. But we got 2 comments this past week from the same person. They commented on 2 different separate videos, so thank you. I appreciate your interactions. That is Whiskey Corridor 90. So on the top 10 games of the year, he commented that you guys should do a video game book club on Black Ops 2 in honor of 2025. Not sure in honor of what 2025 means, but maybe because we just had a game come out. I'm not sure.
Black Ops 2 the future one? Black Ops 1
is Black Ops 2? No, the Advanced Warfare is a future one.
Yeah, but I thought Black Ops 2
go back and forth
because Black Ops 1 I thought was Fidel Castro, like it was like the Cuban Missile Crisis.
The game's campaign follows up. Story takes place in the late 1980s and in 2025. So yeah, it's a 2025 game. I mean, we'll put it on the list.
Yeah.
Well, take a look. We're not usually big Call of Duty fans, but I've always enjoyed on occasion a Call of Duty campaign.
I was a big Call of Duty fan for a long time.
Yeah, I was gonna say Alex was the big one.
No,
he only stopped because children kept beating him up.
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't that long ago. It was when essentially they made the maps to where it was because it's always run and gun, but they made it more battle royale to this point where like it was
Warzone.
just
yeah.
There's nowhere to plan your attack, right? So like there's nowhere to really pin yourself back and take shots or whatever. It's just like get a kill, die, trading off, and I lost interest then. But yeah, I think I was still playing when 2 came out, but Black Ops was not my favorite. So I played 1. I never played 2, but I'm down to play it. I like Call of Duty.
It'd be a fun little addition. We'll toss it on there. We'll toss it on the list. See when we get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Second comment from the same person. You guys, this is for the Ace Combat video, so I guess they went back and kind of looked at some of those. It is the one with the extremely lovely thumbnail that I made. I love that one, where it goes underground. You guys should play the DLC missions. You should also play the PS2 games, especially 5, since it has the thriller-style story that you guys want. So what do you think? You guys are going to go back to the older Ace Combats?
I'm pretty sure we talked about it during that book club, but that's where my experience with that series started. I would be down to go back to play I mean, like I've got my favorite one's the Unsung War. It's Ace Combat 5 or 4, whichever one. That one was on the PS2. That one is a certified hood classic.
Okay.
Faux show.
All right.
Interesting.
We'll add it to the list. But yeah, thank you again, Whiskey Corridor 90, for chiming in and hanging out with us. Appreciate you.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, with that, let's get into our weeks. And if you guys don't care, I'm going to go first because I don't have much at all. Most of
how it goes.
Well, to be fair, you just
want to go first. It's fine.
Just go first.
No, all my
me.
All my game playing happened to finish up stuff before the end of the year. So it's been nice actually to slow down a little bit. So I've just continued to play Space Marine every day. I try and convince Christian a little more to like join, like go on the really hard difficulty of Space Marine. And he keeps giving me excuses like, "Oh, we got to level and get perks or whatever." When I really
Which
just
I
think
was
we need to
correct
find,
about.
I
All
just
you
need to
did
find
was
somebody
join
to
quick
carry us.
matches and then carried you, which is exactly okay. So I was right.
But I told you the last one I did, I only died once out of the entire thing, which is right at the very end. Like I'm starting to get it.
Yeah, if I hung out on back and let two people carry me, I'd be able to get a lot done too, man.
So carrying in this game is different. I'm not hanging back. I'm in the fight. They just have to revive me a lot. That's the difference. Yeah, because my survivability in my class is not high. Anyway, I'm super enjoying that game. It's nice, and I was talking to Christian about this earlier, after playing all these like long JRPGs, to just like have something simple and kind of mindless, like see monster, see alien, kill alien is all that is, which is nice. Other than that, I've been trying out Splitgate. Downloaded that yesterday. It's just an arena shooter. Since some of our other friends and friend of the show, Jake, the people I had played Halo with, moved on from Halo. They were playing Splitgate. I was looking for something basic. I played some of that with them today, actually. And it's fun. It's just a fun little turn your brain off, run around and shoot things in the arena. Yeah.
Floaty, jumping.
So that's all I've played. And it really has been nice to just like not have to dedicate like all of my time to these story games right now. And now is the time to catch up on games, because like I don't have anything really coming out until February, until Monster Hunter comes out, so I can take my time and do what I want.
Until Monster Hunter.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I've done.
You want to go, Christian?
You want me to go, Preston?
Sure.
I think, did I talk about Cyberpunk already? Did I already complain about that game?
You've complained
You
about
have.
it, yes. No, when you talk
Yeah.
about finishing it, I don't know if we talked about finishing it yet.
I don't
You
know that
you
you've
probably
talked about
mentioned it
finishing
in
it
like
either.
the game of the year thing, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I talked about finishing it. I finished it. I borderline regret my time with that video
really?
game. Like, I think that
Time you
it
can't
is...
get back and kind of want to.
Yeah, it... Like, the more time that I've had away from it, it really pisses me off. Like, that game... I think that it deserved every bit of shit it got, and probably a little bit more. Like, I think that it's really infuriating that the first 3 hours of that game are stellar and set up and do more than anything else in the remaining 45 hours. Like, that... The story with Keanu Reeves' character was just so fucking lame. Like, it was... Like, you go through this whole thing. I mean, you're going to get to it eventually, right, Preston?
Yeah, so yeah, don't spoil.
Yeah, so I won't spoil it. But it goes nowhere, in my opinion. Like, you're just like... And then to have, like... Even moments, like, with... this isn't a spoiler, but, like, Adam Smasher, the guy from the show, is in that game. And that whole fucking storyline is just a cough in the wind. Like, it is just like, okay, cool, right on, man.
Well,
yeah, and then
I don't even remember. I don't even remember my time with Adam Smasher. I remember the one mission where you walk in, he's walking out. Is there a fight with him? I don't recall.
Boy, is there.
Is there? Okay.
He's Johnny Silverhand's main rival, Alex. How could you forget that?
Because like you, and I think we talked about it back in the day, everything in the game is more compelling than the story. So
Yeah,
I don't
like-
yeah.
But my thing is like, I don't even think, like, it can't even, like, it'd be one thing if there was, like, side missions and things that I thought could save it and, like, held it up. I don't even think that. There is one side mission in that game that I think is good, which is the taxi cab one, which I thought was actually funny, the Delamain ones. Other than that, you gun to my head, I would not be able to tell you a single thing about any other side mission in
I
that
like
video game.
the cyber hacker things, right? The cyber psychos. I thought those were fine.
No, that one pissed me off even more. There's 17 of them. You have to drive around
There's
the
a
whole
lot.
city. You fight them. 8 of them are repeats. And then, when you're done with it, you go up to the person who gave you the quest, and she's like, thanks. And you're like, is that it? She's like, yep. And you're like, oh. Okay. And you're like, well, and then you have an option in the text dialogue to be like, so is there anything you wanted to like follow up with me on? And she's like, about cyberpsychosis? No. And you're like, okay, I guess, neato, and then you leave. Like,
Yeah.
some of those fights are interesting, but like, the fact that 80 of them are repeats is really fucking dumb. And then the Phantom Liberty DLC was so fucking infuriating because it's basically taking plot points from the anime. Like,
Oh, really? Just stealing it.
more or less, like, we'll talk about it whenever you get to it. I guess both of you, because I know you're going to play it, Alex. But, yeah. It's like, you finish it, or you start it, and there's a very quick moment where you're like, this character looks an awful lot like Lucy from CyberArk Edge Runners. There's no way that you could. Oh, okay, it's just okay. All right, it's just Lucy.
Do they try and
to the point where their destinations are the same? They both want to go to the moon.
Do they try and repeat any of the like robust missions from the first mission in the first game? Like, do they try and do that at all in Phantom Liberty?
The
like,
very last one is if you are with the Lucy character. Yes, the very last mission is like okay, but yeah, God, even then it doesn't. No, because what you're asking me is, can I like attack a thing different ways?
Right.
And that answer is no. You're very much on rails. It's very bombastic, like the first mission. Like there's like set pieces and things happening, but no, you don't choose anything.
Dude, that first mission that everybody saw, like in the demo and stuff, is like, I remember you go through the little hideout at one point, and like you're taking people out and putting them into freezers, and then the cops like show up to like get the girl that you save. And then they just take off, and it is like very set piecey, and you never see that world interaction.
Yeah, the trauma
again.
team shows up. Yeah,
and then you come out and you made it like get in that guy's car, and right, and he adds on to that world building and everything else, and just
So I got to the point right at the end where I was like, okay, I've done everything that I'm supposed to do, so let's let it rip. And so I just started shooting people so that I could get Max Tack to show up. Max Tack shows up. I had enough things that as soon as Max Tack showed up, I hacked their ship and it exploded. And then I was already at 5 stars, so then they just sent more. And then I was like, all right, we'll see how long I can keep going. And I actually survived for a very long time. The game basically goes like, eventually we're going to send so many that you're just overwhelmed and there's nothing that you can do. And there was a moment, though. So I was on a highway, and I was sitting there like fighting, and then I had a moment where I was like, it was overwhelming. I mean, there was probably like 40, 50 people on the screen. I was like, okay, like clearly the video game's just like, stop. And I was like, let me use the last, like, I'll have some of my cyber RAM or whatever, and I was like, I'll use the poison thing that spreads between people. So I watched poison start to peripherate everywhere, and I was like, sweet. Then I jump off the side of the highway, and I land on the ground, and then I call my bike and start driving away. And I got away, like, they were like, we can't find him. And I was like, you've got to be joking me. And so then because they're all just sitting at the top of the highway, like, like, he's getting away. Like, there's nothing they can do. So I turn around and drive back and let him kill me. And I was like, all right, cool. And I uninstalled the game. Really, honestly, the last thing I have to say about it, because I know you guys are going to play it, but, like, the last thing I have to say about it is,
Don't.
I mean, yes, but I know you're not going to listen to me, but, like, I think that if the same writer for this game is in charge of writing The Witcher 4, The Witcher is in trouble.
Sure.
do we know if that is the case?
I don't know, but the only thing that I will say is that The Witcher had the benefit of having novels be based on, which is why I think that it was, like,
There's decent writing.
it's
in
a
it
lot
'cause they
easier to
pulled
write
from-
something.
And they still do. They still have novels available to write on. There was one actually that I think that came out again this year.
Yeah, but is that guy? Are you allowed to do that?
Oh, I don't know. What do you mean? Because
The
like, lawsuits and
lawsuit
other
of
stuff.
him getting more money.
Yeah,
for
and
making
he
the
only
games.
he only licensed those first 3 or all the Geralt novels. I don't think he licensed anything else.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a good
I don't know.
question.
Maybe you just like who knows? I'm sure there's a
We'll
legal
have to
way
do
to
a
get
deep
around
dive
it
one
or
day,
something. Yeah, but all I know is that if they're writing their own original story with nothing to go back on, and it's the same guy who did this, I'll be mad because this sucks. Like, I don't know how anybody could go through that and be like, yep, $70, worth it. Like, I'm glad that I got it for fucking 15 because...
Yeah. I kind of, they've come out and they're like, The Witcher 4 is going to be bigger and it's going to be great. And this
That's
and the
a
other. It's
mistake.
like,
Sure.
I
Yeah.
know. And that's my thing. It's like, guys, I think a lot of people just want smaller, more concise games.
Or just the same size
Like,
as Witcher 3. I was plenty
I
big.
saw
Yes,
somebody
it
talking
was.
the other day, and they were talking about like, these 100-hour games. I think that what they said was right, but their idea was wrong. So they're like, people don't want these 100-hour games anymore, or sales are showing that less and less people want them because there's just a lot and there's bloat and like it's a time sink, and they're like, people want smaller, more concise co-op experiences. And I actually think that's also wrong, because he was making a point around like these hero shooters and other stuff, and there is a market for that, but it seems like people play hero shooters, jump between them. I think people in general just want smaller, more concise stories. Whether you want to play with somebody or play alone, we just want something that's tight, and I think that shows by the like indie games, right? Like
or you can look at like Spider-Man Miles Morales. Like, people like praise that fucking game because of how tight and consistent it was compared to the other Spider-Man games. Like, it was just a nice, smaller, bite-sized chunk, and you don't need to fucking have a 40-hour fucking Spider-Man game. Just give me a 18, 20-hour one, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. It was great. It was great.
I really think that like what people are like, I want games that are tighter, feel good to play. I don't care if they look worse, and I don't want people to kill themselves making them.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
Like that's really like, I mean, Indiana Jones. Like, we've hit a graphical plateau anyway. Like, Indiana Jones is like, oh, you need all of this to be able to look, and then you look at it and you're like, this isn't even one of the better looking games that I've ever seen.
It looks fine. Nothing.
It looks
crazy
good.
impressive.
Like, it's not. That's not a disparaging remark against that game. It looks good, but to be like, these
are the minimum requirements.
Yeah, this is what we. It's like
You can't.
I would rather. Yeah.
As we've seen.
So. But yeah. So then I was done with that, and so I played the demo for the new Dynasty Warriors Origins game. That game, the demo is, if anybody has ever played one of those games before and then thought like, oh, like, if you have any nostalgia for it whatsoever, but then also you were like, I really wish they would do something else, this is probably going to be for you. They completely rebooted it. It's a full-on action game now. It's got a parry system. It's got this dueling. It's all cool as fuck. The demo ends with Lu Bu, which, if anybody's ever played those games, you know that that's like a fucking famous character from those. Either way, that comes out later this month, so I'm very excited for it. That demo completely changed my mind on it. And I've been playing Persona 3 Reload.
Yeah.
I'm at the second border wall now, so I'm on floor 43.
Yeah.
It's very funny how that game is like, it begs you. It's like, are you sure you want to keep going? You guys should come back. How about you go to sleep? I'm sure you're tired. And then you're like, they're like, if you come back, like, and we try again later, like, maybe Akihiko will be ready. Like, you can go. And I'm like, fuck that. No. And we, like, keep going all the way. And they're like, man, I'm really, that's crazy. You guys got the way there. And it's like, yeah, honestly, if you didn't stop me, I'd keep going. Like,
yeah, right, yeah. That's why they have it there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's much better than Cyberpunk. I'll say that. Yeah, it is a much better video game than Cyberpunk. I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. But you like all the? You didn't ever play Persona 3 or Persona 3 or Fez, right? That's
no, I mean, like, I played it. I played like enough to know what Persona 3 was, but I never finished. Like, it was, I had access to a game, like a copy of the game that was not mine. So like, I got through like some of the intro stuff and saw the bang bang, and I was like,
do the good intro of the Persona, which is like 8 to 10 hours probably, but yeah, 5 to 8.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, this is sick, and then it was just something I never got back to, but So I don't know. I'm at the point now past the second port where I don't know anything.
But graphically,
where
at
I'm at
least,
now.
like that game.
Oh, dude! I mean, the
fucking
game
great.
oozes style. Like it's just, but it. There is no company that does it like them, or no developer that does it like them.
Oh, yeah.
Between this, Metaphor, all their other games, like it's just yeah. I wish if I was to ever like do a dream team of developers, these guys are on UI and like art design.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's
So who is that dream team? What is that?
well, Capcom's gameplay.
Capcom.
I mean, that's,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, Capcom's
They
gameplay.
know
That's
they
easy.
can make it.
Yeah.
That's easy. And then Persona team would definitely be art design. And then if I'm going story, I'm probably leaning. Yeah, well, no, because if Persona's doing art stuff, so then I might just have Yoko Taro come in and do the story.
Okay.
Okay. Yoko Taro.
Yeah.
Huh? Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go
or 14
or-
team. Either one.
or
You
yeah.
flip a coin. Yeah.
So you're going to then have the longest, most convoluted backstabby surprise action game that's ever existed.
It'll
in
be
the
the most
history.
stylish, best playing, best written action game that's ever been created. Yes.
And it'll be 200 hours long
yeah, and everybody will cheer.
with surprises around every corner. Yeah.
yeah,
Games aren't
yeah,
too long.
and
Fuck you.
everybody
Here's
will
200
cheer.
hours.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's your week?
Okay.
Yep, that's it. To be fair, Deer's not that long, but
No, it wasn't that long.
I mean, we recorded we recorded not that long ago, but we did a lot to get that top 10 and all those games in. So
We did.
we can all relax a little
we
bit
did take
now.
some time. I had a pretty decent sized week. Of course, I played a little bit of the Splitgate with Alex because we were just online and he was talking about playing. I'm like, fuck it, it's free. Let me download it real quick. Jumped in, very arcadey, very jumpy, floaty. A little bit like Unreal Tournament, but I wouldn't say as fast, but getting close to that kind of speed. So it's fun. No one knew what they were doing with the portals, so we were just playing like a normal arcade shooter at that point. Yeah, it was fun. Fun to jump in with. It's free. Fuck it. So, but yeah. Other than that, I played some more Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. That game continuously looks phenomenal. It's nailing the vibes that you would want out of an Indiana Jones story. Do not go into it thinking you're going to play a Uncharted or a Lara Croft game. The action is not there for it. And it's in first person. So, now you do pop you out in third person when you're swinging on your whip. And the cut scenes with like the different characters in there are very like, this is like an actor you would see in an Indiana Jones movie, and he's talking, and it all vibes very well. I do get lost on occasion because you're supposed to be exploring and looking around. I told these guys earlier, it was like one of the very first scenes that you get, and you're supposed to be packing to go to the Vatican. And so, you're getting your whip, you're getting your hat, and like you're kind of putting things in the briefcase, and it's like, okay, get the picture of the mummy cat, because like that's what you're going over there to kind of like talk about. And I'm looking, I can't find it in that room, so I leave the room. I'm looking throughout the entire school that's in the movies, and I'm like, I can't find this fucking cat photo. And it's not like giving you a big yellow dot showing you where it's at. You gotta look for it. It was in the room that you are looking for all your stuff in. It just happens to be like on like a little cork board in the back. I'm like, oh, I didn't fucking see the cork board there, and I could have swore I scanned that entire room. But I don't think I was looking for a photo. I was looking for the actual mummy cat itself. But so far, it's nailing it. If you want, a little Indiana Jones experience, if you enjoy the movies, so far so good. I'm about 4 or 6 hours in, and I'm loving it. So I'll continue playing that one.
How long is it?
As far as how long to beat, I don't think I checked, but if I had to guess, probably around 15 to 20 hours. I
Okay,
mean,
not
Google
bad.
it real quick if you want to kind of double check me. But yeah, I haven't looked that one up just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, been also playing Animal Well due to me wanting to play a platformer and Christian talking it
I
up.
saw you on that last night.
What's that?
I said I saw you on that last night.
Oh yeah, no. So I'm probably about 5-6 hours in. I've gotten to the point to where like I'm like cleaning up the map to where it's like I'm going everywhere, but there's 3 like sections that just show like little flame icons. This game gives you like no like actual story. It's like, oh, you're this little blobby thing that comes out of this flower, and then
You're
kind
a
of
Kirby.
just. What's that?
So you're a Kirby.
You are. You're essentially like a little brown Kirby, just kind of hanging out in there, and you're grabbing items to do stuff with. Like, you know, Christian's mentioned it before, like a frisbee. You find little firecracker plants to like help scare things, but there's no.
Oh yeah. The light stuff. Yeah.
There's no real combat in the game. I don't think I've ever found anything to where like there was like one section to where something was trying to eat me, so I had to have it eat something else to hurt it or move it out of the way. But you're not defeating anything.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I think I get lost, and I go, okay, let's look at the mini map, find out which one doesn't have a hard border on it, and I'm going to go over that section to find out what's keeping me from getting over there. And there's times where I'm like, no, maybe I might quit this game because if I can't figure out where I'm going, then I don't want to sit here and look around this entire map over and over again. But every single time, I found just one more thing to advance me with. I found one more thing to get through, so I did finally, after like 4 or 5 hours, get my first like one of those 3 flame sections.
Oh, nice, cool.
So I finally got that, and now I'm just kind of trying to go towards the other ones because I've pretty much cleaned up the areas. At least I think I have. That is the one thing I'll probably don't like about it is there is zero handholding in it at all. But also like. The map is not very detailed. Like, it's a very pixelated game, but so that the map is also very pixelated. But you can't zoom in on it very much. Like, it's a kind of a basic form, and you can zoom out a little bit to kind of get more of an idea of where the flames are. But overall, like, it's hard to tell what's on that map. Like, you can see like a little pink line that kind of shows you, obviously, there's like a little thing or a door or whatever there. But you can't remember what it is, why you couldn't open it last time. Like, man, after, like, playing a little bit of that new Prince of Persia game and being able to take a photo and just be able to stamp it wherever that location is, that is the most brilliant fucking like advancement.
It's an amazing feature. I don't know that we'll ever see that in Metroid because I mean hopefully somebody else steals it because Ubisoft's certainly not going to make another one of those. That feature's incredible.
Now this one does have stamps on it, so I can put like a stamp here for like a treasure chest that I might not have gotten and stuff like that. But it's just a little like I put a question mark down on one spot and. Maybe 2 hours from now, I'm not going to remember what it is, but I'll go there and figure it out, knowing that there's still something there I couldn't figure out or couldn't get past.
Yeah.
So leave it there. But yeah, Animal Well's good. Pretty great. Going back to our Game of the Year conversation, if I would have played this and then we had that conversation about Pepper Grinder and this, I would have probably still said I like Pepper Grinder more. But, I mean, I totally get why you would have fought for Animal Well. I mean, just the fact of the matter that in this game of, hey, boy, do this, hey, boy, do that, from God of War every 15 seconds, having a game that tells you absolutely nothing is a very refreshing feeling. And finding those things, like, you mentioned again...
It's very satisfying.
Yeah, and you mentioned again, like, I'll just kind of do the spoilers that you've already told everybody, but, like, figuring out that you could jump on that Frisbee is pretty fucking cool. Like, it was an accident. Like, I just, like, threw it against the wall and was trying to, like, jump just past it and I ended up, like, landing on it and your guy's just kind of sitting there spinning around going on the Frisbee. I'm like, oh, okay. And then just figuring out there's other ways you can use certain items. Like, there's one item that helps you essentially, I'm not going to say what it is, but it builds a platform for you, right? So you can, like, jump on it if you need to. But if you work on the button presses just right, you can use that platform for anything because it only lets you do one platform at a time. So if you just jump and hit it just right, you can get another platform, another platform, another platform. So... figuring out things, having a fun time with it. It's a super short game. How long to beat? Had it down for like, I think like 7-8 hours. So as long as I just keep going through and don't get super stuck, I should be finishing it by the next time we
honestly, the only part that's like super difficult, now that you've got one flame, you'll start moving through the other ones. The only one that ends up getting like not brutal, but it is harder is the blue flame. But that's because it's like a to get it is like a platforming challenge. Like there'll be something chasing you while you're trying to get that one. And that one's like, okay, I have to plan this route out. Like, I got to know what to do here.
So it's not a scary game, but it can be, like, unnerving and sometimes, like, a little, like, extra creepy. There was one thing I did look up, and it was when I picked up the Frisbee, something starts chasing you. That thing won't stop chasing you the entire game. And that made me completely uneasy and very scared. So I'm like, fuck this. What do I need to do here? So I'm not figuring it out. I looked it up and like, oh, okay, I should have just not gotten the Frisbee and continued on and found something that would help me out, Indiana Jones style.
Do you want to know So Spencer's crazy ass
Just took it and was dodging that thing.
and played it all the way until
He found the thing.
He found later, so he just kept playing like that.
Fuck, dude.
I was like,
no.
dude, you're
That's so
a
much
monster.
stress and anxiety. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, no, enjoying it a lot. Having a lot of fun with it. Other than that, nothing really too new. That's my week.
Short weeks today, then.
Yeah, I mean, I got 3 games in, but
You didn't get 3 games. Watch
To be
anything?
fair,
haven't
I
watched
also played
anything.
some more Zenless. Dan Dan finished up. Dan Dan's really good. It even won some anime award for best intro because that intro fucking slaps. That's a great intro. But yeah, other than that, all my shows are kind of coming to a close. Like Dan Dan finished up. I'm in the middle of Skeleton Crew. I'll talk about that when it finishes up. Yeah, no real shows popping up right now. Just kind of chilling on games. And
All right.
AGDQ, been watching that. Go watch the replays, guys.
Yeah, this will actually be no. Even when this goes
It'll
live,
be
it'll be
over.
over. So if you're hearing this,
It'll
it's
be
too
over.
late.
Jump on the YouTube. It's already there.
Yeah, jump on the
some sweet
YouTube, go
runs.
watch some. But there's been some insane runs. Last night, so far, my favorite run is probably the Wind Waker run with Linkus 7, just because seeing him run that game is like...
It's ridiculous.
It's truly like a master doing something.
And I love how,
it is-
at one point, it's like, I'm just not going to get the things, and I will get to a cutscene to where I need to have those things on me, and it'll just give me those things. It's been great. And I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
really? Okay, so a cutscene just gives you, like, a shield and your outfit, and sword.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay,
yeah.
okay, all right.
That was nuts. Did you guys catch the Breath of the Wild run last night?
I caught parts of
No.
it.
So it was the two players, one controller run. The
So
one that
each half,
you were
essentially.
talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
It's a
yeah.
30-minute run.
Yeah, watching somebody parry and do like flurry rushes on Ganon's attacks as a 2-person holding a one controller thing, like, so it has to be both of you doing it in sync. Wow. That was impressive. It was very, very
Been
impressive.
training
I
for,
might
like,
go
over
back
3 years or so.
I might go back and watch like the end of that.
Yeah,
Like
no,
you're
it's like
saying.
only like a half an hour or 45 minutes like of a run. Like, it's not a very long one. Like, they skip. It's any percent.
Yeah, they go crazy. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Go back and check those out. I love those. I'm sure we'll talk more about that next week when everything is done. Because I always enjoy watching these.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Yeah. I know, I have it on all the time. I'm sure
Great
Alexa
charity
hates
event.
it, but yeah.
It's for a week.
All right. Well, nice, short, concise week as we kick off the new year. That's okay because later this week we have our first part of our gaming book club. Christian, remind us all, what are we going to talk about?
We are talking about Zone of the Enders, Part 1.
The movie.
leading
Which is a
into
whole
Zone of the Enders
game.
Part
It's
2.
not
the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The game, the movie is what we're going to talk about. There was a little prerequisite before we dive into our game, which is Part 2.
Zone of the
So
Enders,
catch
second
the-
runner, -0.
Nope.
Stupid.
Nope. Just Zone of the Enders, the second runner. That's it. Yeah.
0.5.
Catch us later this week as we talk about that. But yeah, with that, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. And Preston, you know what to do.
Hit it.
Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. If watching is more your thing, check out youtube.com/thetestingroom or Twitch TV/testingroompod. To leave comments and ask questions, follow us on Instagram @testingroompod and email us at testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.